For years, the K-pop industry has been dogged by complaints of high pressure and bullying.
Kind of signed my life away at that point.
저희 꿈을 이용해 그런 식으로 협박을 하시는군요. 네. 데뷔 안 하고 싶어요? 하고 싶습니다.
At yesterday's National Assembly audit, K-pop girl group singer Honey made a historic appearance as the first ever idol to appear in front of the parliament.
For young artists to be treated better by the industry.
A company that no longer has any sincerity in the art and music that is created is rather fixated on appearing like a well-working company despite only having thoughts about making money and don't have any conscience about the negative effect they create through their non-authentic means.
This is not the type of work ethic we respect nor want to be a part of.
Imagine signing a contract that takes away everything you've worked for just to become famous. For many K-pop idols, this isn't fiction. It's their harsh reality. From legendary groups like Girls' Generation and Mamamoo to the rising stars of NewJeans and KG from VCHA, more and more idols are exposing how these contracts work. K-pop is finally shifting the way idols are treated, and it might actually be for the better. But here's the thing. K-pop has a dark past with its contracts, stretching all the way back to the 90s. We're talking about what some call slave contracts, where idols used to sign their lives away to management companies.
I thought it was inhumane, but but that's literally the life that, trainees live.
Trainee contracts are what idols sign when they pass auditions and enter a company, locking them in for a set number of years. These contracts can be renewed if the company sees potential or terminated if they decide you're not good enough. The rules are strict, from daily schedules packed with lessons to controlling their diets, image, and a few other things.
Wake up like 5, head to the studio, practice. If you're late a minute, you have to kneel on the floor and you have to sit in the corner, like time out. And you'd go back home like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then you just repeat that throughout the whole week.
Now, as we get into the actual artist contracts, along with all the intense rules about schedules, diets, and images, one of the most restrictive clauses is the rule about when idols are allowed to date. Idols are often forbidden from dating for the first few years after debut.
저희가 5년간 이제 활동할 때 동안 20년으로 연애할 수가 없다고 금지령을 내주셨어요. 근데 작년에 제가 말씀을 잘 드려가지고 언니들은 나이가 좀 있으니까 깎아달라고 3년으로 언니들을 줄였고요.
It's just another way the industry tries to control their personal lives, keeping them under constant scrutiny to maintain that perfect, unattainable image. Imagine working nonstop, being told how to look, what to eat, and when to date. And if you speak up, your career is on the line.
다 같이 이제 연습생들 회식을 시켜준다고 패밀리 레스토랑 갔는데 다 뭐 리바이 시키고 볶음밥에 뭐 시키더니 저한테 넌 먹지 마 이러는 거예요. 그러니까 콕 집어서 어린 마음에 너무 상처를 받은 거예요.
Back in the 90s, K-pop idols were bound by brutal slave contracts that controlled every part of their lives. These contracts forced them to work nonstop, dictate their diets, and even control their images. Take Shinhwa, one of the first K-pop groups to expose these abuses. SM Entertainment pushed them hard, leading to a legal battle that stretched for years. They fought to leave the company and won. That set the stage for what would come next. More idols standing up for their rights. Fast forward to the 2000s, when DBSK signed a 13-year contract with SM Entertainment. The company's control over every aspect of their lives was extreme. They covered everything. Trainee rules, social media, love lives, behavior. Basically, companies controlled every part of the idols' lives to keep them locked in. In 2009, 3 of DBSK's 5 members decided they'd had enough. They sued SM over their insane 13-year contract, claiming it was way too long, way too controlling, and they weren't seeing any of the money they were making. That's when the South Korean Fair Trade Commission, KFTC, stepped in. As a result, slave contracts were abolished, and by 2010, they set a rule limiting entertainment contracts to 7 years. After Jae-jung and the other 2 members sued SM Entertainment, many fans started to believe that he was allegedly blacklisted from TV entertainment programs. The legal battle stirred up a lot of controversy, with rumors swirling that the company used its influence to keep him off screen as retaliation. Fans noticed how his appearances on television became rare, fueling the belief that SM had a hand in blocking his career opportunities. That is, until 2023, when he made a long-awaited return at the Idol radio concert in Seoul. It was his first appearance in 14 years following his legal battle with SM. It became yet another example of the harsh reality idols face when they fight against the system that controls their lives. Then, in 2017, Girls' Generation shook the K-pop world when members Tiffany, Seohyun, and Sooyoung chose not to renew their solo contracts with SM. SM tried to downplay it, saying, "The members are not thinking of disbandment, but will discuss the future direction carefully." But this was huge. Usually, if one member leaves, the group just keeps going, but this time, it was different. This moment marked a shift in how contracts and idol careers were viewed. In 2021, there was a lot of speculation when netizens suspected that Hwasa and Ween were being played dirty by the management company because they did not want to renew their contract. After the company released an official statement confirming that 2 of the members had already signed their contracts, fans started to believe it was all part of a strategy to pressure Ween and Hwasa into staying. Allegedly, the company was putting them in a position where, if they didn't comply, fans would blame them for breaking up the group and disappointing their loyal supporters. It was just another example of the company using its power to control the situation and push its own agenda. In the end, Hwasa chose to renew her contract, while Ween decided not to, though she agreed to stay on for group promotions. Their 2022 comeback marked the first time a K-pop group had this arrangement. In 2023, things took a wild turn when 3 of the members, Saina, Aaron, and Seo, from a rising K-pop group, 50/50, under the agency Attract, decided to leave and end their contracts early. Attract claims that the members broke their contracts, which caused major financial and reputational damage. The agency is suing for a massive 13 billion won, about $10 million in compensation. But here's where it gets even messier. Aaron, Seo, and Saina, along with their parents, are being sued for breaching their exclusive contracts. In response, a new law called the 50/50 Act is being proposed to protect smaller agencies like Attract. But the girls aren't backing down. They accused their agency of mistreatment and tried to break their contracts in court, but the case was dismissed due to lack of evidence. Even though the legal battle is over, the girls are still refusing to work with Attract, while the 4th member of the group, Kina, dropped her lawsuit and returned to the agency. Recently, the agency announced that they have cut ties with the 3 members, and 50/50 has made a comeback with a new lineup of 5 members, including original member Kina. Recently, the K-pop world was rocked by the NewJeans case, formed between 2019 and 2022 by Ador, a subsidiary of Hybe, quickly skyrocketed to fame with hits like Attention. The 5-member group, Daniel, Haran, Hani, Hein, and Minji, became K-pop's newest sensation. But things got messy in April 2023 when Hybe accused Ador's CEO, Min Hee-jin, of trying to take over the company and leaking confidential information. Min denied the claims, suggesting that the accusations were retaliation for her criticism of Hybe's new group, Illit, which she believed was copying NewJeans' style. By May, Min Hee-jin won a court injunction to stop her dismissal, but in August, she stepped down anyway. Tensions were high, with the members, especially Hani, Minji, and Danielle, speaking out about their frustration. Minji even said she felt powerless in the situation. Still, NewJeans kept moving forward, even landing a campaign with Calvin Klein. But in September, things took a dramatic turn when the members released a video accusing Hybe of fostering a toxic work environment and demanding Min's reinstatement.
인간적인 측면에서 저희 민희진 대표님을 그만 괴롭히셨으면 좋겠어요. 솔직히 대표님 너무 불쌍하고 그리고 하이브가 그냥 비인간적인 회사로만 보여요. 저희가 이런 회사를 보고 뭘 배우겠어요?
They set a deadline for September 25th, but Hybe shut down the request. Fast forward to November 28th, and NewJeans shocked fans when they announced they were parting ways with Ador, citing contract violations.
이번 내용 증명을 통해서도 저희는 저희 의견을 수차례 전달드렸는데 이런 무성의한 태도가 너무 지치고 정말 우리에 대한 진심이 없구나, 우리의 요구를 들어줄 마음이 전혀 없구나 다시 한번 느꼈습니다. 그래서 업무 시간이 지났고 자정까지 4시간도 채 남지 않았는데 어떠한 시정도 이루어지지 않았기 때문에 저희 5명은 29일 자정이 되는 즉시 전속 계약을 해지할 것입니다.
In a press conference, the group explained that they wanted the freedom to pursue their true passions, including releasing new music for their fans, Bunnies.
We really wish to be able to release new music for Bunnies next year as soon as possible, whenever.
They also warned that after terminating their contract, they might lose the right to use the NewJeans name. Adore responded by claiming that the contract was still valid and urged the group to continue working with them. But it seems things are about to get even more complicated as the group opened a new social media account under the username Jeans for Free amid their ongoing dispute with Adore, although it was primarily an internal conflict between the company's leaders. We can't ignore the fact that their public disagreement with their agency has led to a lot of information being exposed about their company, particularly their strange obsession with other groups. See, doing market research is normal, but what Hybe is doing isn't. Mostly in market research, you tend to find what's trending and what people are looking forward to. Keeping tabs of competitors is also normal. Writing excessive negative things about them isn't. Please don't say all companies do this because genuinely it's not normal. Keeping tabs of competitors is about their concepts and music. You might also pay someone to figure out what the competitor is going to do next. But in no industry it's normal to badmouth like this. Another major issue is that K-pop idols are often plunged into debt before they even make their debut. From the moment a group is formed, they're charged for everything: music production, video shoots, album creation, clothing, and even food. On average, it costs about 500 million Korean won, around $500,000 to launch a group. But here's the catch. Idols don't start making money until that debt is paid off. Former Madtown member H.O., whose group disbanded in November 2017, has previously spoken out about this issue. He began by revealing, "When idols debut, they start with a huge debt. Agencies charge the debuting group for everything from music production, video production, album production, to clothing and dining costs, and if a group doesn't become too popular, the members end up sitting on a pile of debt." Similarly, Siwon, a former member of the group Twilight, which also disbanded after just a year of promotions, shared his experience on his YouTube channel. Only after the group has paid off all the agency's investment costs, the agency and the group members can make profit. Even the rookiest groups get paid at least $3,000 to perform somewhere, so to pay off $500,000, the group has to endure a lethal schedule. Several K-pop groups, including EXID, AOA, and Infinite, have openly discussed how they earned little to no money due to this system. "We haven't made any money yet because we are still paying off our costs," singer Solji of EXID revealed. And in some cases, even after their debut, a staggering 40 to 50% of their earnings are still taken by the company, allegedly, keeping them in a never-ending cycle of paying off what they owe. Reportedly, not all entertainment agencies work this way. The big three, SM, YG, and JYP Entertainment, do not require the idols to pay back for training. So, does that mean the idols in these agencies are free from any debt to the company? One of the most powerful recent stories is that of KG, a member of JYP Entertainment's multinational girl group VCHA, who made headlines when she filed a lawsuit to terminate her contract, accusing the company of mistreatment. In an emotional Instagram post, KG revealed the harsh reality she faced: abuse, unfair treatment, and working conditions that led to debt and caused eating disorders and self-harm among the members. KG's lawsuit is not just about her, it's about shining a light on the systemic problems in the K-pop industry. JYP Entertainment responded by expressing regret over the lawsuit, claiming they had been in talks with KG's representatives to resolve the issue. They denied the allegations, calling KG's claims exaggerated and harmful to the group. This lawsuit adds to a growing list of legal battles in the K-pop world, with groups like EXO and Luna also challenging their agencies over unfair contracts and working conditions. Experts are now calling for serious changes, emphasizing how grueling and exploitative the K-pop idol system can be, and pushing for better protections for the artists who are at the center of it all. While challenges remain, the increasing awareness and push for reform suggests that the future of K-pop may be one where idols have more control over their careers, their personal lives, and their mental health. The future of K-pop is shifting, and it's time for idols to take back control. Will the industry evolve, or will it continue to trap stars in the shadows of fame?